The goal wasn't to be dishonest. I was going to call it a night, but I'm in the groove, so I have to do questions 13 to 16 because I love lines and lines love me. So number 13, it says find the slope containing the given points 6 comma negative 9, negative 1 comma 1. When you want to find the slope of a line and you're given 2 points that are going to be on that line, you must use the slope formula. So for question 13, that's why it's imperative to also know your formulas. For 2 points, we're going to call the first set of coordinates x1 and x2. And the first set of coordinates is x1 and x2. The second set of coordinates is, no. The first set of coordinates is x1, y1. Excuse me. The second set of coordinates is x2, y2. I'm not going to edit this out. I'm going to thug it out. The slope of the line is the following. We're going to call that m. That equals to the change in y, the difference in y, which is y2 minus y1, divided by the difference in x, or the change in x, x2 minus x1. And we can call that rise over run. Rising means up or down depending on the sign of the slope. So our coordinates is 6 comma negative 9 and negative 1 comma positive 1. Double check. That is correct. And now we're going to label each of our coordinates. So that's x1 for positive 6, y1 for negative 9, x2 for negative 1, y2 for positive 1. Now we can work our slope formula to find the slope between these 2 points. M is equal to y2 minus y1. So that's 1 minus negative 9. Put that negative 9 in parentheses. Divided by x sub 2 minus x sub 1. So that's going to be negative 1 minus 6. Now, in high school, rather in middle school, we learned that the products of 2 negatives equals a positive. So that's going to become 1 plus 9 in the numerator. 1 plus 9 is 10. In our denominators, we can subtract. Negative 1 minus 6. You owe your friend $1. You borrow $6 more from your friend. You now owe them 7. Because it's money that you will potentially need to pay back. Hopefully you do pay it back. That is going to be negative. A positive divided by a negative is a negative. The slope is negative 10/7. So that means from the point of 6, negative 9, we move down 10 units and we move over 7 units to the right to get to the next point. Or rather, I think I maybe misinterpreted wrong. Let's take the point negative 1, 1. No, I'll keep it there. I interpreted it correctly. All right, we're going to do number 14. Number 14, I think, is a pretty straightforward question. It says, graph the equation and identify the x and y intercepts. So in this case, sure. Negative 5x minus 2y equals 10. So negative 5x plus 2y equals 10. So I am actually going to use the x and y intercepts to graph this line, and it is minus 2y, not plus 2y. So let's change that. And to find the x-intercept, we set y equal to 0. And to find the y-intercept, the x is equal to 0. So let's find the x-intercept first, replacing the y with 0. So negative 5x minus 2 times 0. And that's equal to 10. Negative 2 times 0, that's canceled. Negative 5x equals to 10. Divide both sides by negative 5. X equals negative 2. So that means the x-intercept is the coordinate of negative 2, comma 0. Y is 0, x is negative 2. That satisfies the equation. To make sure that equation is correct, that is good. To find the y-intercept, substitute 0 in for x and solve for y. So negative 5 times 0 minus 2y equals positive 10. Negative 5 times 0 is canceled. So that's going to be negative 2y equals to 10. Divide both sides by negative 2. Y equals to negative 5. So the y-intercept is going to be the coordinate of 0, comma negative 5. This question said graph the line using the x and y intercepts. And I kind of do not want to do it, but I will because I'm going to answer the question. So I'm just going to draw a basic sketch, nothing pretty of the graph, nothing fancy. X-axis, y-axis, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In a negative direction for x. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In the negative direction for y. The x-intercept is negative 2, 0. The y-intercept is 0, negative 5. That's down here. And then here comes one of the worst parts of my day, although this day is just gotten started, and that is connecting the points smoothly, which actually I think I did a pretty good job. That was valid. That was pretty valid. So this question is done, but before I do that, I just want to label the x and y intercepts. And there we go. Teach me how to Dougie. For number 15, I'm doing it on the graph. So 15 is going to be done up here. Write the equation in slope-intercept form, then graph the line using the slope and the intercept. So basically, you want to solve for y, because when you solve for y, you can then find the slope and the intercept. Slope-intercept is in the form of y equals mx plus b, where m is the slope. I'm going to put equals, not semicolons. And b is the y-intercept. And we established that the y-intercept has an x-coordinate of 0. So basically for this equation, we got to solve for y, get y by itself. Let's first move the x over to the right side by adding 3x, because that's the inverse of having a negative 3x on the left side. That cancels. 5y equals to 3x minus 15. Put the x term first. Then we're going to divide each term by 5. Thicker. So here the 5 simplify. Y equals 3x divided by 5 can't be simplified any further. So we're going to call that 3/5 x. And then negative 15 divided by 5 is negative 3. So our slope is 3/5. So that means up 3, right 5. You can also go in any other direction as well, but I'll keep it in the positive direction. The y-intercept is negative 3. So the coordinate will be 0, negative 3. We're going to plot that y-intercept first, that coordinate of 0, negative 3 on the y-axis. And then to find the next point, we're going to move up 3 units, right 5 units. So here at the point of 5, 0. And then we can sketch that line. I tried my best. And there you go. That's the line of negative 3x plus 5y equals negative 15. Yep, we did a good job. I like this question. Number 16, I'm also going to do up here as well. Number 16 is basically going to take a combination of several things that we did. So basically, we're going to combine questions number 13 with 15 a little bit to get number 16. But in this case, we kind of don't really need to do too much math. A school has just purchased a new computer equipment for $15,000. The graph shows the depreciation of the equipment over 5 years. The point of 0, 15,000 represents the purchase price. And the 0.50 represents when the equipment will be replaced. Write a linear equation in slope-intercept form that models the value of the equipment, y, X years after purchase, and then use this model to predict the equipment after 3 years. So once again, I'm doing 16 up here. So I want to find an equation in slope-intercept form. So I must find it in y equals mx plus b. Once again, m is the slope. We're not given an equation, so that means you have to find the slope and the y-intercept. But in our case, we already know what the y-intercept is in this case. So the y-intercept, which is b, is 15,000. So we have the b. Let's just find the slope. So to find the slope, m, once again, equals to the slope formula, y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x sub 1. And we can use this because we have two sets of coordinates. Here, this is my x1 and my y1. And over here, this is my x2 and my y2. The conditions is satisfied for us to find the slope. So our slope equals to, that's going to be 0 minus 15,000, y2 minus y1, divided by x of 2, which is 5, minus 0, which is x sub 1. Negative 15,000 divided by 5. Let's zoom out a little bit. That equals to negative 3,000. So now we can set up our equation. Y equals to negative 3,000 x plus 15,000. And that is the answer to the first part of the question. This is a two-part question. Use the model to predict the value of the equipment after 3 years. So, what does that mean? If it's after, I'm going to zoom in over here. 3 years, that means x equals to 3. We're going to substitute 3 into our equation. Y equals to negative 3,000 times 3 plus 15,000. Negative 9,000 plus 15,000 equals to 6,000. So after 3 years, the equipment is going to cost $6,000. The 3 years, it will be at $6,000. That's how much the equipment will cost. Because once again, it's depreciating. And that is the answer for 16, part 2. So once again, for 16, we found the equation by using the y-intercept given to us in the equation and the 2 points to find the slope. And then once we found the equation of our line, we can substitute x with 3 because x is the number of years. We're trying to find after 3 years, and that is going to be $6,000. And that is it to this video. I enjoyed it. Will I do another one? I said no, but probably will. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.